to watch her.
Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town.
We're in Chicago, along with some of the brightest stars for the United States in gymnastics. Indeed, some of the most exciting in all the world, with an array of seasoned veterans and dynamic newcomers.
Chicago, Chicago, the town that built.
It's the 1983 McDonald's National Gymnastics Championships, today featuring the men's and women's individual finals. Hello again, everyone. I'm Jim Kelly, along with former Olympic medalist Peter Corman, currently the coach of the gymnastics team at the U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis. And you know, with over 100 of the top U.S. gymnasts here competing in the premier gymnastics competition in the United States, we've got a unique first for you today. It is the first time that the men's and women's gymnastics championships have been held under the same roof. So we've got an outstanding field, great competition.
We sure do. All the best male gymnasts in America are here, specifically Bart Connor, Peter Vidmore, the defending national collegiate champion, and our USA current all-around champion, Mitch Gaylord.
And in the women's competition, one of the best all-round competitors, Tracy Talavera, is here, but she's going to get some rather stiff competition from a pair of Bella's girls, if you will.
Bella Caroli, the great coach of Nadia Comaneci, is in the U.S. coaching American gymnasts. He has two superstars, Mary Lou Retton and Diane Durham. They're both very young and very powerful.
First, we'll show you the women's uneven bars. Now, these are the standings after the preliminaries. Diane Durham is leading. Keep in mind those scores count as 50% toward the total. Julianne McNamara here, tied for the second spot after the preliminaries, Peter. This is her best event. She's usually in first place.
She sure is in first place most of the time, Jim, but she fell off in the preliminary round. This is her finest event. Currently ranked number 3 in the entire world on the uneven parallel bars. Tremendous flexibility and motions landing in a handstand, as you can see right there. Nice routine going, getting ready for the dismount. Look for solid landing, a fine exercise.
Julianne McNamara. She won this event, you recall, back in 1981. She's coached by Don Peters, the 1984 U.S. Olympic gymnastics coach. Julianne finished second in the all-round this year and last.
And as we watch the last part of her routine, keep in mind that at the Summer Games in '84 at the Olympics, this will be one of our hopes for a medal. Julianne McNamara on the bars.
And on the bars, Peter, Julianne scores a 9.80. She takes over the lead now, and with the new total, she'll be very tough to beat, putting pressure on the rest of the competitors.
And one of those competitors, Mary Lou Retton, very exciting young girl, only 15 years old, competing in her first senior championship.
As you saw, Peter, in fourth place after the preliminaries, Mary Lou Retton now needs, as you look at a concerned coach, 9.85 to pass Julianne McNamara.
And she is certainly capable of that 9.85 mark, as she received a 9.9 at the American Cup this season, winning the all-around.
Mary Lou is only 4'5". You know, she reminds me of our Olympic ice skater, Scotty Hamilton. Small in stature, but definitely a favorite of the crowd.
She sure is a favorite, and she uses that small body to do very powerful, explosive-type skills. Winding up this exercise, a fine routine here, very nice.
Just 15 years old, Peter, and already they're naming gymnastics moves after her.
They sure are. We'll take another look at a skill named after her coming up right now. It's called the Retton. Right there, a flip from the bottom bar to the top bar. Very difficult, extremely exciting.
But the question is, Peter, will it be enough for the 75-pound pepper pot out of Fairmont, West Virginia? She just misses by 5/100ths, scoring a 9.80. She does, though, move into the second spot behind Julianne McNamara. Next will be Diane Durham out of Gary, Indiana. She, of course, is becoming the darling of the gymnastics world.
The best female gymnast in America at age 14, Diane Durham.
And she needs 9.75 to try to beat McNamara.
A fine event for Diane as well. Working very nice there. Here's a release move. Caught that right on the money. Working very well here. Cannot make any mistakes to receive that top score. Right to the handstand. A little under there, but she saved it. And there's a leg split, a couple of minor breaks, but overall, a nice exercise.
That was a good one. That was a good one. You caught it. Hold it over there.
Well, Diane Durham's coach is certainly enthused over her performance. Remember now, she needed a 9.75 to beat Julianne McNamara. Peter will take another look.
Here's Diane on an opening mount on the uneven bars, using her tumbling ability to help her score in this event, flipping to the low bar.
The 1983 all-round national champion, Diane Durham, but, oh, she just misses by 5/100. A 9.70 for Diane Durham. The disappointment written on her face as she now finishes up in a tie with Mary Lou Retton for the second spot. Julianne McNamara, the winner on the women's uneven bars, the national champion again. It's her second title in 3 years.
Individual Gymnastics Championship. This is the men's pommel horse, and here's Jim Kelly.
National Gymnastics Championships. After the men's preliminaries on the pommel horse competition, Peter Vidmar, Bart Connor, and Mitch Gaylord ranked 1, 2, and 3. Out of Springfield, Massachusetts, Tim Daggett is up now. He goes to UCLA, as does Peter Vidmar. In fact, Peter Corman, they're roommates.
And the best word to describe Timmy Daggett is aggressive. He doesn't hold back at all, does an extremely difficult routine. Watch the amount of time he spends in this exercise on one pommel. The balance is critical when you're on one of those two pommels. Right there. Now watch this, Jim. He travels the length of the horse in a flat position without using the handles. Extremely difficult. And the dismount now. A beautiful routine. Should receive a top score.
You can see that Tim is very pleased with the routine. Now, when you're in competition, Peter, can you be objective about your performance?
I think you certainly can. I've watched Tim a lot on pommel horse. That was a very nice routine.
But just a 9.75, Peter. The judges not as enthused as Tim was.
And, you know, when you consider the difficulty and the virtuosity in that routine, a 9.75 is really a bit low, in my opinion. A 9.8 or a 9.85, even a 9.9 would not have been out of the question.
Now Tim's roommate at UCLA, Peter Vidmar, who led after the preliminaries, now needing a 9.60 to pass Daggett.
Peter does one of the most difficult routines on pommel horse in the world. Has had great success with it. Oh, no, he fell off. That's strange for Pete Vidmar. I've not seen him fall that easy.
Most unusual and very costly from a score standpoint. What happens there, Peter? Simply a lapse in concentration?
Well, I couldn't tell you, Jim. You know, I've seen Peter so much on pommel horse. If he's off balance at all, he really fights hard and 90% of the time stays on, but he fell that time and didn't seem to fight at all. But the 9.6 is out of the question now with that deduction, of course.
Peter Vidmar, leading after the preliminaries, needed a 9.60 to pass Daggett. Peter Vidmar, the 1980 and 82 all-round champion, the NCAA champion in 82 and 83, talking to his teammates, Peter Corman, about that break in concentration.
And Peter just said that a fly interrupted his routine.
Peter, can something as small and apparently insignificant as that disrupt your concentration so greatly?
Well, it's so unexpected. In the 20 years I've been in gymnastics, I've not seen it.
So Vidmar scores only a 9.30. He drops down into a fourth-place tie, and now it's 25-year-old Bart Connor, the senior member of the men's gymnastics team. Our John Dockery takes a look at Connor's career.
During the 1970s, it was the Bart and Kurt show. Bart Connor and Kurt Thomas dominated U.S. men's gymnastics and brought respect to our national team.
We were very competitive, there's no doubt about that, flip-flopping championships back and forth. And it was a great time, really, because there was a good deal of motivation because of that competitiveness between us.
When Kurt Thomas called it quits, Bart Connor was crowned king by default, but it hasn't been that easy.
Kurt finished, I guess, in 1980, and I won a meet for about a year or so. I was winning meets there, but we've gotten so much stronger than that. Now there's the Jim Hartungs and the Peter Vidmars and the Scott Johnsons, Phil Cahoys. Oh, just an incredible amount of gymnasts who, all of them on any day, can win.
Now 25 years old, Bart still lives in Norman, Oklahoma, where he enjoys a relaxing and comfortable lifestyle.
Everybody thinks that a person who's in amateur sports and training for the Olympic Games sacrifices their whole life away, you know, and you see that all the time. And I feel that it's really not the case with most of the athletes. You'll see me picking weeds or hitting a golf ball out there or doing something to relax. So I do have time and opportunity to do a lot of other things other than just gymnastics.
With his looks and personality, Bart is a natural for his chosen field of television journalism.
Can you see your fingers right there? Just watch your fingers, that's good.
His outside job's helping Bart enjoy some of the finer things in life, like a new sports car he sometimes races. But in spite of breaking through to the outside world, Connor is still very much into gymnastics at an age when most competitors have lost their motivation.
Ever since I started gymnastics, I had always thought, well, I'm going to go on through 84. I don't see the big deal.
Now, some athletes are content to ride out their careers at a constant level, not Bart Connor. At 25, he's still trying new things, taking more chances.
I've brought up the level of my difficulty. I've improved my strength and my quickness and power, which I think has made a great deal of difference in my performance now because I feel stronger and I feel more comfortable on the apparatus because of that. It might cost me a place or two if I have trouble with them. If I hit them, great, you know, and that's how you'd like it to work out. But I'm willing to take that risk right now.
Back to the men's pommel horse competition. Bart Connor in second place after the preliminaries now needs a 9.60 to beat Tim Daggett.
And Bart was saying that he's added new difficulty on all the events in gymnastics. It cost him in the all-around competition here, as he only took 9th, missing the high bar, but he's added a new skill on the pommel horse at the end of his routine, a new dismount. He's after the extra points awarded to originality. Working very nice here. Typical of Bart on pommel horse, extremely smooth. Getting ready for that new move now. Here comes, right over the end. Nice exercise.
25 years old, Bart Connor, an Olympic team member in 76 and 80 and a household name in U.S. men's gymnastics.
And here's that new dismount. Lifts to a handstand and comes right across the middle.
Remember now, Bart Connor needed a 9.60 to beat Tim Daggett. He scores a 9.90 and nails down his first national championship since 1981. So still at 25 years young, Bart Connor, the veteran hope of our Olympic team.
And Bart just proved that fact by winning the pommel horse, one of our strongest events internationally.
And we'll have 18-year-old sensation, Diane Durham. She was raised in Gary, Indiana. This is the women's final of the floor exercises. So let's return to Jim Kelly.
Welcome back to Chicago in the 1983 McDonald's National Gymnastics Championships. We're in the finals of the women's floor exercise, and our leader, 14-year-old Diane Durham. A name you're accustomed to seeing near the top of the leaderboard. Tracy Talavera has fallen and dropped way down in the standings. But perhaps a new star is emerging. She's a high school freshman from Homestead High. She lives in San Jose, California, 14 years old, Pam Bilek.
And what an excellent tumbler Pam is, an elegant dancer as well. Watch this opening tumbling run. 14 years old, doing a full twisting double somersault. Here it is. Beautiful. Two double back somersaults, real nice. Pam originally was a dancer and switched to gymnastics, so she has that very good dance background, and that really plays a major role in the construction of her flow routine. Tumbling run left, a fine exercise so far. Here comes a double twist. Very nice, and a superb performance by young Pam Bilek.
A relative unknown, Peter, who came up through the Junior Olympic program and has been competing in international competition this year and doing very well. This is her first senior nationals competition. She tied for third in the all-round, and now with her score of 9.80, a chance to win in the floor exercise. Pam Bilek, an emerging star, and the only one who can beat her here in the competition is another 14-year-old, a current star, Diane Durham. Diane, who won the all-round competition here, going after her third individual title. Peter, she certainly has been the star here in Chicago.
She sure has, Jim. And you know, it's been amazing to watch her consistency and her power. This event highlights it better than any other. She's a tremendous tumbler. And is just an individual full of life. Watch this full twisting double back coming up now. Watch the lift she gets. Wow. Nadia Comaneci at the 76 Olympic Games when she saw her on TV. Diane is now training with Nadia's ex-coach, Bella Caroli. And what a wonderful job he's done with her in the last year. Very nice tumbling run. Jim, she's competing as a seasoned veteran, only 14, her first championship. Winding this routine down, another double twist right on the money.
Peter, keep in mind she needed a 9.60 to take the title from Pam Bilek. How is she doing?
Very good, Jim. I think she's going to get it. Super tumbling, excellent performance. Diane Durham.
Out of Gary, Indiana, just 14 years old, already a star with her sister and mother watching in the stands, and her coach, Bella Caroli, nearby.
It was your championship day. I'm proud of you. You did a great job today. It was 1983 Diane Durham National Championship. All right.
Well, Peter, certainly her coach thinks that she has won it all. Let's take another look.
And here's what makes Diane such a great tumbler, combining two very difficult tumbling skills into one pass. A 1.5 twist to a double twist. Beautiful.
For 14-year-old Diane Durham out of Gary, Indiana, her score, there it is, a 9.80. She's done it. She's won her third individual title here in Chicago, capped off on the women's floor exercise. And another 14-year-old, Pam Bilek, was second. John Dockery with our winner.
You're wearing your all-around championship very well, doing so well today in the individual.
Thank you so much. I really tried to get myself together and get my confidence up, so I do really well today.
The Olympics aren't far off. Can we see some of those medals in the Olympics?
I guess so, for me, hopefully.
Well, good luck to you. Keep up the good work. Okay, now back to Jim.
And so, Peter Corman, the U.S. Gymnastics Championships have ended on an optimistic note for all our Olympic hopefuls.
The young girls have dominated their side of the competition, and we've seen the emergence of another star, Mitch Gaylord. We have a lot to look forward to.
For John Dockery and Peter Corman, I'm Jim Kelly saying...
Part of that country.